This is Marc Mullinax, and welcome back to Power for the Peaceful, a podcast and class on Taoism. Today, verse 15, we were made for this.
When you listen to the ground and you put your roots down, you can hear what she says if you're listening. When you listen to the ground and you put your roots down, you can hear what she says if you're listening. The sweet sound of the river as she moves over the stones. The same song that the blood in your body sings as it weaves around your bones. When you're listening, are you listening?
First, a personal note. I did not think I would get this episode out on time. Earlier this week, I tested positive for COVID. So I have no partner, quote speaker, and question asker, and this is a short episode. Still, I am grateful to be with you now. Verse 15 stands out as a beacon of insight, accenting the profound simplicity that underlies the natural order of the universe. This profound natural simplicity, I call it spontaneousness, is not just the way our universe has evolved, but is part and parcel of how the entire universe is, including our very bodies. We are stardust that emerged in a grand evolving process. This is not some grand plan of some divinity, but a recipe involving the periodic table, heat, cold, gravity, and energy. This recipe created, shall we say, certain values on how to be, to become, and to act. Before this verse concludes, we are invited into this utterly profound simplicity. So this verse promises a lot. And I think the more we participate in these values, the more cooperative we shall be with Tao, which is a huge claim. But keep your heart and mind open to hear what we may need to hear. Here's verse 15 now. Original patience. Ancient masters excelled in mystery and discerning elusive wisdom. While it is impossible to retrace their exact knowledge, one may distill their traits. Unhurried, like when one crosses a frozen rocky stream. Vigilant, like when one senses dangers from all sides. Reverent, like an honored guest. Relaxed and fluid, like thawing ice on the move. Simple and pure, like the virgin texture of the beginner's mind. Accepting and empty, like a valley or cave. Meditate on this. How does muddied water, when left alone, gradually clear? Can we too practice clarity by stillness alone? Can we too maintain our original nature of serenity and silence throughout life? Follow Tao to remain empty but accepting, so even when ancient, one is never exhausted or unfulfilled.
When you're listening, are you listening? When you're listening, are you listening?
Now, a reminder, Taoism is perhaps the first metaphysical attempt to speak of what we moderns would consider a theory of everything. Way back in the past, perhaps before there was a concept of Tao itself, masters and sages practiced the subtle wisdom that our words today cannot describe. The best we can do today is attempt to reach back with our scholarly or spiritual imaginations into what kinds of qualities these wise ones practiced. Care, alertness, courteous and honorable, fluid, malleable and supple, receptive and open, clear of distractions, and patient. Taoism's values always play the long game. Its values are never for use as a quick fix. So these ancient sages felt that these abiding qualities as opposed to, say, the short-term and knee-jerk values of like being in charge, ego-driven scheming, or practicing hierarchical inequalities. These were the best ways to become human. These qualities are what we are made of and made for, our original operating system. So this verse presents a series of similes to illustrate these original operating system values or qualities the enlightened masters practiced. It likens their behavior first to an unhurried crossing of an iced-over stream, suggesting the necessity of care and attentiveness in every life situation. The simile of an ever-vigilant person, perhaps like a warrior in enemy territory, conveys the alertness and mindfulness required to anticipate obstacles in order to spend less energy maintaining one's harmony. Further, the verse describes the masters as reverent guests, emphasizing first their respect for others, second, their emphasis on lowering their ego shields to adapt to different situations. That is, and I hope we're listening, we are to adapt to the diverse situations and not expect all life to adapt to our desires. The next simile compares the masters to melting ice and to the simplicity of a beginner's mind, or as the text literally says, an uncarved and thus shapeable block of wood, to suggest their resiliency in any situation. And as you know, any given situation in your day calls for resilience. Yes? Next, verse 15 introduces the concepts of sincere openness and receptibility, comparing the masters to an open valley, or, as we have seen before, a cave. Like a valley that gathers water and nurtures life, or a cave that suggests a womb, the master embodies both the quality of gathering and not separating, community and not separateness, and the quality of generating new life. This receptivity allows them to remain clear, like a glass of water, which clears itself in only one way, by standing still. In this way, the masters could remain untainted by preconceived notions or biases. In a move away from these similes, the verse begins to question the reader of her or his own habits, questions that challenge the reader's patience and ability to embrace the natural flow of how the universe operates. Literally, can we too? It asks. Can we not do likewise? The verse encourages us to wait patiently until the turbidity settles, allowing clarity and understanding to emerge organically. No forcing. Only by being left alone, by stillness alone, do we get in touch with our original nature, the nature that has never been wounded or destroyed, that when practiced produces insights into the right course of action, which is, to the prepared heart-mind, self-evident. Now, that's a way to live. Empty, accepting, never exhausted or unfulfilled. This is a most relevant teaching today, for as I have said often, Tao still speaks to us. And here's that relevance. In our modern society, characterized by rapid technological advancements and a constant influx of information, verse 15 serves as this prompt. When we pause, observe, and cultivate these same ancient, available, and true qualities that enable us to navigate complexity with grace and simplicity, then we are most human. This is what we are made for. In this world filled with distractions, cultivating qualities of mindfulness and alertness can help us make wiser decisions and respond more skillfully to the challenges we face. Cultivating flexibility and adaptability, letting go of rigid attachments and embracing change, one remains open to the new, open to expanded understandings. This is how wisdom grows. By setting aside our preconceived notions, we create space for new insights and understandings to emerge. Create an empty womb. Scrape off the barnacles. Clear the decks for that which is to come. When you quiet down the inner noise, you create the possibility to be at your best and most creative. Your silent mind becomes the conduit linking you to the unbounded emptiness of the Tao. A quote by Derek Lin in his book, The Tao of Every Day. Verse 15 finally invites us to embrace patience. Patience is never forcing things that are never intended to be. Serene, patient fortitude opens within us new capacities to discern situations correctly and remain clear when the rest of the world is going stark raving crazy. In a world driven by instant gratification and constant activity, this reminder to wait and observe holds the key to making more informed and aligned choices. Arrest your short-term desires, for these temporary visitors try to supplant your original awareness and wisdom, but at a level usually below your consciousness. So quieten your rushing stream of thoughts. Be like that glass of dirty water that clears only by being still. Homework meditation. Picture yourself as unhurried, like when one crosses a frozen rocky stream. Picture yourself as vigilant when one senses danger from all sides. See yourself as reverent, like an honored guest all the time. Understand yourself as relaxed and fluid, like thawing ice on the move. Be simple and pure, like the virgin texture of the beginner's mind. Practice accepting and emptiness, like a valley or cave. And picture yourself clear, like muddied water left alone, slowly clearing, even right now. This is not just homework, but application. Let no one mess with your chill, except you. If you have co-conspired in allowing that messing with, live this week with verse 15 and find out how deep your unflappable and unshakable nature actually goes. Of the verses we have examined thus far in Tao Te Ching, this verse 15 may be the most revolutionary one for us personally. It conveys the profound, spontaneous simplicity that lies at the heart of Tao. It encourages us to embody ancient values and practices that characterizes spontaneous simplicity, unhurriedness, vigilance, reverence, adaptability, simplicity, receptivity, and patience. When we practice these, first, we find these already within us, however buried or hidden. And then, when we bring out these ancient treasures within us, we find out what we are made of and made for. As we embrace the profound simplicity of the Tao, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and cultivate our deep but often neglected connections with the natural ways and processes of a universe that birthed us. This is what we are made for. This podcast is an original labor of love, designed, written, and co-produced by many, whose central idea that Tao Te Ching is good news for today. Tao still speaks. Audrey Davis is our artist. Molly Hartwell sings her song, Put Your Roots Down. Fortress Press holds the copyright for quotations from my Tao Te Ching translation. Thanks for your attendance in this class, however short, on Taoism. May your days begin in peace and become wombs for radical hope.
When you listen